said yes, but it's not an item number, and it's, I think the rules or the laws don't allow us to, and I'm just kind of speaking off cuff, but I think it's because the rules of the laws don't allow us to have those spoken things that aren't on as items. They can't be spoke about during the meeting, but we can add them as an item to the next meeting.
Okay, that's exactly what I'm calling about.
Okay.
And our rules on page 25 of the entirety of the U.S. Code is the Constitution. And on page 1 of that rule book of over 800,000 pages are rules for God-given unalienable rights. And that means that we elect people to represent us to protect those rights. If I am being excluded from participation in a body that I elected, my rights are being violated. Since this is so important, this needs to be discussed at every meeting until it's resolved.
Let me put you on hold and put this other call on hold, okay? One moment. Like we were saying, I spoke with the city clerk about your issue, and the best we can do is to have you put it on the next agenda. Since it's not an agenda item, we can't speak about it today. I know that you were telling me your rules and rights, but I mean, as far as I'm aware, that's the protocol. And
yeah, I understand.
We still want to honor your rights and make sure that you do get a chance to say, but we just have to do it in the order and based on the rules that we've been given. So I want to offer you Jennifer Pittman's phone number so that you can call in and get that on the next agenda. But I mean, I'm just helping out with the phones. I don't usually help with city council meetings. Until we started this virtual meeting stuff, they asked me to just help with phones, so I don't know a whole lot about the
and I feel
those 800 pages. I've never read the first page of those 800 pages, I promise you.
800,000.
Oh my goodness, I definitely haven't read the first one of those either.
If you stack the books up, it would be equal to some of the highest buildings in Tyler.
And I believe you. It's just, I'm just helping with the phones today. And they gave me enough information that I knew that when you called in and it wasn't on the agenda, I mean, I know what they've told me as far as that. And I did go downstairs and check with the city clerk before the meeting started. It started now.
Yeah, I understand.
And Jennifer and Cassandra are both tied up in the meeting right now, or I'd put you through to one of them.
I understand. So anyway, I've got this, I'm recording this right now, and I just want to explain that it is on the agenda. It's the preeminent importance to the city. That's why it's at the very top of the page. And
are you saying it is on the agenda as an agenda item?
We're getting into the weeds. I'm saying the importance to the city and everybody that elected the councilman and mayor, the most important thing to them is this COVID and how we're handling it. Now, the reason I called is to give them an education on how our government is supposed to work so that the people don't get upset. Now, what they are doing right now is worse than what King George did to our founders, and that is to exclude them without reason in participating in the government which they authorized or consented to. Right now, I'm being excluded.
Well, we don't want to exclude you, but we
understand.
We can't speak about it during this meeting, but we can possibly include it on another meeting if you request that item to be added to the agenda. And so I'm trying to give you an alternative because I know that you really want to speak about it today, and I understand that your sense of urgency about it, but I don't have the authority to put you through. They're never gonna ask me for those calls today. No one, and because we're on the phone, I can't hear what the mayor is requesting, but if he is asking for any certain calls right now, but No, sir.
Okay.
It's not on the agenda today
I'm
to speak about COVID. It's just these planning and zoning items, and I'd be happy to go over the agenda with you.
No, I've got it
But
here.
the
I have it here.
reason they mention COVID at the top is because we're handling the meetings different because of COVID-19 virus currently.
Right.
And I'm skimming the first page of it because you told me that it is in here, and I haven't run across where it says the word COVID in the first page.
So it's on the first line. It says, due to the current coronavirus COVID-19 public health emergency, a teleconference meeting of the City of Tyler Council is being conducted. Okay.
So what we were trying to do there is just to make the public aware of why we were holding our meeting differently. Because in the past, obviously, the public was allowed to come into City Hall, and right now City Hall is locked to the public. And so we have started conducting these virtual meetings by phone, through Facebook Live. I think it may be put out on Channel 3 as well. And we're all set up virtually. This is the first meeting that the City Council has actually come back into the building 100%. They've been doing some of the meetings from home 2 weeks ago. And we have them back, and we're slowly starting to come back to City Hall. But for public safety, we are not asking the public to come in, and that's why in order to share the meeting with the public, we're having to use the teleconference method of the meeting. And that's all that meant in that first paragraph of the cover sheet for the agenda.
Okay. I understand your explanation of that, but I also understand our history. And what happened during our Revolutionary War was King George was moving courts around and making it so that people could not participate or know what's going on. My only thing is, since this is so important that the public is being excluded in violation of the supreme law of the land, then it should be talked about at each meeting so that we understand that we're on the same page about the hazards of this virus. Now, I've kept up with that pretty good. I know there are solutions. I know there's a narrative that are trying to hide those solutions. I know that this is a long string of things trying to grab power, unconstitutionally outside of our law, and we need to make sure that we all are on the same page about why we're doing what we're doing and the progress in science to rectify this solution, rectify this problem. It turns out that the virus is almost undecipherable from the hazards of any other virus, and that many more people are probably like 50 to 85 times the number of people who are probably infected over what is being reported. So I just want to know that they know the facts. I've published papers. I've got more references in Science Citation abstracts than probably anybody in Tyler, and I've worked with some of the top scientists on Earth. And I just want to make sure that we're on the same page and we're not just out there making procedures that don't comply with our original law on page 1 of the entirety of the United States Code. So anyway, I'm running out of recording space, so I'm going to have to hang up.
Okay.
So let's put that on the agenda for the next meeting, and I would like...
Okay, well, I'm not the person to talk to you about that. I don't know the process of that, but Jennifer Pittman,
okay.
Give me her. I'm happy to give you her direct number.
Okay, 903
531 1253.
Okie doke. So let me look here. I think let's see. Pittman. Pittman. Yeah, I've got her cell phone is 939-2359.
I don't have her cell phone number. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
It's not she doesn't have a city cell phone to my knowledge, and
Yeah.
if she does, I don't have the number.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. And what's your name? What's your name?
I'm the city volunteer coordinator. My name is Katrina Bird.
Okay, Katrina. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Brewer.
Yep. Bye.